on. We're good. Afternoon, everyone. How are we? Welcome to the second of today's TikTok, Facebook, YouTube lives. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we? I hope you're all good. I said I'd be back on. I said it'd be 5 o'clock-ish. It's 5:05. That's 5 o'clock-ish, isn't it? That's not bad for me. I'm not I like to be fashionably late. I do. Or I've just got very bad timekeeping. One or the other. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we're here now. That's all that matters. Hope you're all good. Hope you've all had a good day. Apple Watch will try to update later on. Lovely. Oh, I've got no battery either. I forgot. I didn't forget. Put my watch on charge last night. It didn't flip in charge. By the time it actually had about 10% battery left this morning, so I kind of left it on, doing a few bits this morning. Then I put it on charge while I was doing the live this morning. And then I've had it on. It only charged about 55%. Anyway, I've got 14%. That might just. I did tell you a bit ago that my Apple Watch, the battery was just disappearing. It was just going. And it was from an update, and it put loads of things in, like decibel sensors and all this kind of that. Just killed my battery. So I went in, changed a few settings, back to normal. Lasts over a day now, which is good. I charge it every night anyway, Anyway, there we go. Did you need to know that? No, we didn't need to know that. But thank you for giving us the ins and outs of your Apple Watch. Sorry for me being in my, I'm just in my gym vest. I'll tell you why I'm in my gym vest. Took the dogs out before, and literally, in fact, I can't do it. I took some Ace video on with my glasses. The sound will go weird now because it'll connect to these and then it'll come through. It'll come through the thing. But anyway, the old Ray-Ban Metas, my new Ray-Ban Metas. The first pair I bought, I didn't realise I'd ordered the large ones, and they looked like I look like Elton John in them. I mean, I'm not saying that these are tiny; they're not. But these are like normal Wayfarers, like Ray-Ban Wayfarers. Anyway, has the sound gone weird yet? No. Anyway, I'm going to take them off. But anyway. I've all these, took some Ace pics of it. Sun was shining. Sun is shining now. It's beautiful. I was like, I'm going to get some bloody sun on my skin. Vitamin D and all that. So I bought the dogs to be vested. I've just not put my T-shirt back on. Anyway, there you go. You didn't need to know that either, but I didn't like it. If for whatever reason you are umming and ahhing about getting a pair of Ray-Ban Metas, get a pair. They are amazing. They do them as sunglasses, and then they do them as transitions. These are transitions. Get the transitions, right? Because you can wear it. I was like, what's the point? If you're going to get sunglasses, you're just going to wear them outside. Like, I'm wearing these inside to do cooking videos. I'm wearing them inside to do all sorts of bits and pieces. And literally, for a split second, you can catch a moment. You can take a video. Hey, so I wear them for walking the dogs and just if my dog's looking cute and I want to take a little video of them running in a field, I've got them. I highly recommend get a pair of these. They are ace. I wish I got them sooner. I genuinely wish I got a pair sooner when they first come out because they are class. Right, let's do a top 5 on TikTok this morning. If there's 5 of you in here. Callum, good evening, mate. Good evening. Ryan's in. Callum's in number 1. Ryan's in number 2. Kelly C's in number 3. Amy Evans is in at number 4. And Steph GC is in at number 5. How are we all? Are we all good? Hope we're all well. Had a good Thursday. I've had a great Thursday, to be honest with you. It has been very, very productive, very, very busy. Done lots of bits and pieces, and just been a good day. Had some good food. Yeah, food's been good. I don't know if you've seen. So I bought all the new marinated king prawns from Aldi. We've got. What have we got, Neil? I don't know. What have we got? Sweet chili ones. Did them yesterday in a poke bowl. Garlic prawns today. I've done them with crushed new potatoes, bit of veg on the side. Absolutely sensational. That was top tier, that dinner today. If you've not seen it, there is an ingredients picture. What I started doing with some of these recipes is, just to mix it up a little bit, an ingredients picture, a point of view making it video, and then a final picture. So you kind of get to see the ingredients, you get to see me making it. And these are for social media. They've been going down pretty well. I like doing them as well. They're good fun. Right? Excuse me. Get in here now. I'm on a flipping live. Have some manners and respect. What? Do you want to come say hello? Come on then. Come say hello if you want to. No? You're tired, aren't you? 'Cause you've just been for a big run. So, no, I'm all right, Dad. I'm not coming to say hello today. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I've started doing that, and it's going down really, really well. Now, this week, I've not got much YouTube content out. I'll be honest with you, I ain't had time. There's only so much you can do, right? So I've done a couple of recipe videos with the old Metas, right? But YouTube has suffered a little bit. Now, I am going to try, because I've actually literally only got on YouTube out this week, my weekly weight loss vlog. I'm going to try and get the worth of calories is done. I just need to edit it and upload it. I'm going to try and get that out tonight at about 7:30, 8 o'clock instead of tomorrow. And then I have recorded a new podcast. I'm then going to try and edit that podcast and get that out tomorrow. What is the new podcast? The new podcast is how to handle your social weight loss life. I think it's called something like that. Anyway, talking about your social life and weight loss and how to sort of navigate through it. Yeah. Say a few more hellos if there is. Damax is in, alright, mate. Just made lamb Donna, very nice. Kelly Lou, good afternoon. Let me scan down. So it's going on. Faisy, good afternoon. Faye, I've seen you've left me a voice note. I will be listening to it at some point this evening. Please just bear with me. If it's urgent, right, urgent. I'm assuming it's not urgent because you might have followed up with the message. If it is urgent, right, urgent. Came away from Apple Watch, got a Garmin Epix Pro 2 best saving. Never. Don't get me started on getting away from Apple. There is nothing better than Apple. So stop lying to yourself. Anyone that says like this is better, it's not. Stop lying to yourself. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Right? Never mention something's better than Apple to me. You know I'm an Apple geek. You know I've got my iPad Pro, I've got my MacBook Pro, I've got my iMac, I've got my watch, I've got my phone. What else have we got this Apple? I don't know. Lots of stuff. Right? You've been warned. I'm only joking. If you enjoy your Garmin, enjoy your Garmin. It's not better than Apple Watch. You keep telling yourself that. No one will believe you. But if you think it is, that's all good for you. I've had fantastic week this week. Bank calories, however, it's restaurant week in Newcastle. That's all right. Next week, so banking them for Wednesday when I take my mother out. Right, so you banking over a week. Can you do that? I don't necessarily recommend it. I don't. I think it gets very confusing. If we start doing things this week for next week, it does get confusing, right? It does. You know, we have to admit that. How would I, if I've got a busy week next week socially, what would I do rather than trying to bank this week and then take you into next week and then go, right, instead of having, I have 18,000 a week. Well, let's have 36,000 calories over 2 weeks. So this week I eat, whatever, 13,000 calories or 14,000 calories. I've then banked 4,000. Gets confused. All I would do is if you've got a week where life is a little bit hectic, right, and it's a bit busy and you're going to need, then either just make that week a smaller deficit week, make it a maintenance week, or if you really need to, just have it as a surplus week. That is all I'd do. This week's this week, right? Once you get to Sunday night, that's the end of the weekend, and Monday is the week start, right? Monday's week start, when you get to Saturday, Sunday, that's a weekend, right? So whatever happens this week, this is just for me personally. I just wouldn't carry it in. So if I've had a great week this week and I've done slightly above and beyond what I would normally do in a week, that's great, right? And sometimes I look through and go, I've had 2 weeks where I'm over my ideal deficit at the last 12 weeks, but I've had 10 weeks under. So on in terms of averages over those 10 weeks, I'm good. I'm sorted. Right? You can look at things a little bit like that, but yeah, I just wouldn't. That's just my, you don't have to take on board everything that I say. Arlene Clark, how did you come up with your weight loss name? Arlene, if you logged in and then logged back on as 2 different people, because you asked me that on YouTube and on Facebook. How did I come up with my weight loss name? The Real Loss Boss. So, when I became a personal trainer in 2018, my business was called Scurra Fitness. My name's Neil Scurra, that's my surname. And I didn't know, the worst name in the world, right? But I didn't know what I was doing. Everyone in the gym, everyone's PT name was Summit Fitness. There's a guy called Matt, and he was FY Fitness because he lived in an FY postcode. My mate John Bland, he was JB Fitness, and everyone was fitness. So I was just like, I'll be Scurra Fitness, right? I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I just didn't like it at all. But it was what it was. And I had a Scurra Fitness email and a Scurra Fitness vouchers made up and all sorts. And I was Scurra Fitness for probably about 12 months, right? And in 2019, this is pre-COVID, right? I decided I wanted to do social media. So I didn't have a Scurra Fitness face. I wasn't in social media then, really. I didn't. I had a personal Facebook page, and I used to put adverts on there, PT sessions available, and this, that, and that. I didn't actually have a brand page. I didn't set up a Scurra Fitness. So when I flipping hated the name, I didn't want it. And for the first 6 months of being a personal trainer, I was part-time anyway. So, and I was busy straight away. So I didn't really need a brand page. Anyway, 2019, I wanted to get more into social. I wanted to get more into social media. I wanted an extra string to my bow. I'm like that. Once I've done something for 12 months, I'm then looking for something else. I'm doing that at the moment, right? I've done, I've done my coaching. I've done this. I've done that. I've gone back spinning. Once I've done that, now I've done back spinning for 12 months. I'm like, I need something else to keep my appetite in the game. So I'm always looking. So 12 months into my weight loss, into my thing, I was full-time personal trainer. I was just like, I want to do a little bit more. I want to reach out, And I was looking at other people. I was looking at James Smith, who was blown up at the time online, personal training. I was like, I fancy doing that, right? I feel, I've got a unique story. I feel I can reach out a bit further than just, the Fylde coast of Ellswick, as it were. So, and I knew I needed a different name. So I just started doing I called myself something like the Weight Loss King, Weight Loss with Me, or I've come up with all sorts of stupid names. The double XL, because I was a 2XL at the time, I think. So I was like, I think I called myself from 6XL to XLPT. Oh no, I was probably an XL at the time. From 6XL to XLP. Oh, so I come up with all these sort of names. And then, someone said to me in the gym, something like that, you've absolutely, maybe had a little bit, because just me, from the football team I support, I don't, I wouldn't say that this area is my favourite area. The area is absolutely fine. It's the football team that I'm not a massive fan of, but we won't go into that. Don't talk about politics, sex, androids, religion, or football teams when you're doing social media. We don't need to get into anything. So someone I knew in the gym, they were what I call a plastic scouser. So a plastic scouser is someone with a bit of a Scouse accent, but isn't from Liverpool. They're literally like, if you know the area, St Helens, Runcorn, maybe even Southport, something like that sort of area. Maybe up Wirral, Birkenhead, All right. Anyway, you lad, you've bossed your weight loss. That's what he said to me. He said, you've bossed it, because it's a very common phrase in Liverpool, boss. Oh, it's boss, that means boss. Right, so much good, it's boss, mate, boss. Right, so it's really, really good. So I was like, oh, cheers, mate. And then I was like, I'm the weight loss boss. And that was my name. That was my brand name. I was like, right, I'm going to be called the weight loss boss. Bit of due diligence, a little bit of thinking. The flipping guy that owns or set up Weight Watchers, his book is called The Weight Loss Boss. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm not saying I'm ever going to get big on social media or anything like that, but I don't want to set a brand up where a bit further down the line, oh, well, you're the weight loss boss, such and such. The guy that owns Weight Watchers, he's, and I didn't know if he patented it or trademarked it, but he was known as the weight loss boss. And I was chatting with a friend of mine, and I was like, I like this weight loss boss. I couldn't get rid of it. I couldn't get it out of my head. Right? I just like the Summit loss boss. It just rolled well. And then we went in down the line, the XL loss boss, or the big loss boss, or something like that. And then my mates went, well, you've really done it, haven't you? So why don't you be, he's a fake, that's what he said, he's a fake loss boss, right? No one knows if he's lost weight. You've done it. You are a real loss boss. You are the real loss boss. And that was it. There you go. Honestly, that's how the name came up. Anyway, you are the real loss boss. I was like, I am the real loss boss. Yeah, I am the real one, right? There's lots of pretenders out there. I am the real one. So that was it. That was how I came up with. That's how I came up with the name, and it's just yeah. That was it straight away. Instagram, Facebook. If you go on my Instagram, there's about 3 different Real Lost Boss profiles because I got flipping hacked on 2. The first profile I ever set up, it's still on there. You can still see it. It's active. It's live. I just can't get access to it. Because someone hacked it and they've changed, like, you know, when they send you your verification codes, they've hacked my email so it doesn't come through, so I can't click the link to get into it. And it's still there. It's got loads of content. It's got all my content from in COVID and stuff like that. My current Instagram, I only set it up about 3 years ago, maybe. I had to set a new one up. And then started doing TikTok and then Facebook, and then there you go. That's it. I'm sorry for boring you with that, but that's exactly how it worked. How can I lose £6 this week? You don't need to, Sarah. Why? What's it going to do? Why do you need to lose £6 in a week? How is it going to change your life? Like, if you were literally like, I wanted to be this by the time I went on holiday. I wanted to be this by my wedding or my friend's wedding, right? Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't mean anything. Right, you know, if you've set yourself a target and you've not quite hit it, look at where you've come from, not what you're trying to get to, you know. And if you've not quite, we don't, you know, try and lose £6 in a week. You can lose £6 of weight in a week. You can't lose £6 body fat in a week. I would very much doubt, Sarah, you burn enough calories to burn £6 of body fat in a week. So stop even trying. That's my advice, you know. Paula, hi, good evening. Did you have a PT at the start of your journey, Neil? I did have a PT for 5 sessions. That was it. Not at the start of my journey, 12 months in. Right. 12 months in. And I owe Matt a lot. Right? Good guy, nice guy, friends with him and everything like that. And he was the worst PT for me ever. Right? Not in terms of he's a bad personal trainer. He was a bad PT for me. Right? Once I then became a PT, I totally understood him. But at the time, I didn't. Right? But he did mold me into being the personal trainer that I became, because I booked in with Matt. It was the busiest PT in the gym. He did 50 sessions a week. I was in awe of him when I became a PT, to be honest with you, because I didn't want to be as busy as him after becoming a personal trainer and realizing how hard it was. But he did 50 sessions. He did 5 days a week, 10 sessions a day, week in, week out, right? At £35 a session. That's pretty decent money, right? But his PT sessions were just very generic. They were just very, very generic. And I never really noticed until I became a PT. And I get why. When you're doing 50 PT sessions a week, to try and have the brain power to do, I need to do a session for this person, different session for this person, different session for this person. And I had a little chat with him. And I was like, and I told him about my arthritis in my knees, and I told him about impact, and I told him about this that I had, and other stuff. And I told him that really I just wanted him to teach me how to lift weights because I didn't feel I was very good at it. And he was like, yeah. First session, he just did the session that he did with everyone. He had me running on a treadmill. And I had to say to him, I said, Matt, I literally said this last week, but it had just gone in here and out the other because he was that busy. He couldn't be a personal trainer. He was a trainer. Right, he just trained everyone the same, right? And I had 5 sessions with him, and it wasn't what I was looking for, so I just stopped. But from that, I always said to myself, I would be a personal trainer. And really, when I became a PT, I didn't have any choice because I had such a diverse. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a diverse group of clients, right? And he had people that were in their 60s and 70s, and people that were 17, 18. And he trained him the same way, right? They literally called him Dr. Death. He was brutal. Like, you train. I've never trained as hard. So don't get me wrong. He literally, fitness-wise, if I carried on with him, he would if he fitness-wise, yeah, he would have got me fitter, but he wouldn't. Because after I did a session with him, I couldn't train for 3 days afterwards. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted to learn how to. So when I say he made me the personal trainer I was, when I got clients that come into me, it made me listen to them and tailor a workout to what they needed. And like I say, I had to do that anyway, because I had clients that would come in that would be 35, 40 stone that had mobility issues like I did. Then I'd have other clients that were, my lightest client was 8.5 stone, and they just liked me as a person, and they were a friend of mine, and they just wanted me to train them. So I had a very diverse group of clients. But, when I trained with Matt, I was about 350 pounds. So I was still like 25 stone. I think that's about 350 pounds. But my fitness levels were decent. I had trained for a year, and I'm also a determined guy, so I still managed to. I still managed to do the sessions, but after that, I was just like, nah, you've not listened to me. You're not a personal trainer. You're just a trainer. And don't get me wrong, I get why he didn't change his thing. He was packed all the time. I think he don't work in the gym anymore. In COVID, he had like a unit built in his back garden as like a personal training studio, a bit like I did here, I suppose. And he's never gone back into gyms. And like I say, really nice guy, fit and healthy, great, good lad. But just, and I owe him because, like I say, he made me the personal trainer that I became. And that then stopped me. Don't get me wrong, when you're doing a lot, I used to do 35 sessions a week. And sometimes, you would find yourself repeating exercises with certain clients. But I then used to step out of it. Does that kind of make sense? So, yeah, I did. I had 5 sessions. That was it. I had 5 sessions. And then in terms of weights, I just then went self-taught. I just started doing, I was like, right, I've paid Matt 175 quid, not really learned anything. I had 5 sessions where I sweated like I've never sweated before, but I've not really learned anything. So I just started doing my own research then and just doing it. And then when I became a personal trainer, you went through a bit of training there. And then that's when I really ramped up things like form and so on and so forth, Why did you stop being a PT? Do you know what? I still am someone messaged me the other day and said, I know you're not a PT, and it might be new to you, honestly. Or it might not be. Someone said you're not a PT. I am a personal trainer. I'm still a fully qualified personal trainer. I've got my qualifications down there on the floor. I still PT some friends for free. I PT Rachel and if Rachel's going to the gym with her friend and I'm just like, I can't be a bit bothered. I was like, I'll just do you in Vicar session. That's fine, So I am still a personal trainer. Why I stopped doing one-to-one was my online stuff. So COVID hit, which shut my business down in the gym. But I started personal training in my back garden, right? When you could, so I trained in my back garden. And then the office I'm sat here now became the RLB gym. If you scan back to any of my TikTok content from 2021 into 2022, you'll see, content that I filmed in the RLB gym, which was my single garage at the back of my house, and I got my bounce back load or whatever they were called, and had it converted into a gym. So I retired from personal training at the end of 2022 because what I found was I kind of lost my passion for personal training working from home in a way. I found it wasn't I didn't quite enjoy it as much as when I was PTing in a gym. I was doing my online stuff, which I absolutely loved. And what I just started doing was, as clients dropped off, which they do, you'll get clients that go, right, money things, or just don't want to train with me anymore, or whatever, And I had a few clients, once COVID really started to disappear and they got the confidence back up, they were literally like, we'd like to go back into a gym and train because you can have a shower afterwards and this, that, and that. So I get it. Totally get it. Not a problem at all. As clients dropped off, so 2021, I was still full time, started doing TikTok. April, May 2021 was when I launched my online plans. And 2021, I literally was doing online and PTing full time at the same time. Money was great. Like, I was buzzing. The money was good. I spent it all, but it was good at the time. And then 2022, something I had to give. I was doing too much. I was earning good money, but doing too many hours. So as clients dropped off, I just didn't replace them. And then it got to the end of 2022, and I had about 7 clients left. So I was still doing 15 sessions a week, 16 sessions a week. And I just said to my clients in November, I was like, from January, I'm not personal training. So I'd like to train you all the way up to Christmas, but you know, if you want to go and find a new personal trainer, that's it. And then I just started doing this online. I have ummed and ahed. About going back. My mate John at the gym, he keeps saying, "Come back, come back." When I say ummed and ahed, I'd only go back a day or two a week just for something to do. Not something to do, just as an extra string to my bow. Something I've ummed and ahed about doing. I do miss it. I do love the one-to-one training. But you know, it's how would it balance with doing this full time? You know, so it's a tough one really, but I do miss it a bit. I do. I really missed it. I really missed that. You know, I do miss it. Do antibiotics hinder weight loss? Nope. Whilst on them, i.e., make you hold on water, bloat, etc. Possibly. There's no antibiotics that really cause serious water retention, other than the steroids definitely do. Antibiotics don't really do that, though. You know the way certain people's bodies react. Now, if you're on antibiotics, you've got an infection. Can infections possibly put the body under stress where you retain a bit of water? Yeah, but it wouldn't be anything major. A pound maybe. You know, it wouldn't be anything massive. And I like the way you said it hinders it. So it doesn't hinder fat loss. It doesn't hinder fat loss whatsoever. Could it counterbalance? Can any sort of bloating or water retention counterbalance the scales for a short period of time? Because you lose a pound of body fat, gain a pound. Yeah. But yeah, antibiotics, not that I really know of, not in a way that would massively affect the scales. Any medication can possibly cause a little bit of water retention or just a change in your body, or, you know, if you're not feeling great, the water retention might come from just not being hydrated enough or something like that, you know. But yeah, not really. Not really. Not certainly like some steroids would. Some antibiotics can make you feel sick, so may increase it but not gain weight. Yeah, I mean, look, nothing causes us to gain or lose fat other than calories, right? So this is where a lot of people go wrong with medication. You know, I've had so many clients over the years. Yeah, well, I'm on such and such, and one of its side effects is weight gain. So I've been on it 2 years, and you know, I've gained 2 stone. I'm like, yeah, it says weight gain, don't say fat gain. It's the difference between weight gain and fat gain. So if you see if you're on any medication now, right, and the side effect is weight gain, the gain is from a bit of water retention, right? The only thing that makes you gain body fat is overconsumption of calories. Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain medications that could increase appetite, which in turn would make you eat more calories. And if you eat enough calories to then put you into a calorie surplus, that would make you gain weight or gain weight through the gain of body fat. But there's no medication that's calorific enough to cause fat gain, right? And this should be explained by your GP, but your GP doesn't know that, because I've spoken to my GP about it, and they're like, "Oh, never thought of it like that." I'm like, yeah, and that's because GPs aren't nutritionists; they are GPs, they're general practitioners for medicine, right? So yeah, there isn't any medication in there that, you know. I'm sorry to tell you this, but if you went on a medication 2 years ago and you've gained 1.5 stone, it is nothing to do with your medication. It's to do with overeating calories. Now, like I say, there are certain medications that can increase appetite, so there could be a domino effect there. But 99% of the time, you know, what is the average weight gain from medication? Between 1 and 4 pounds. That's it. That's the average weight gain, not fat gain. That's the average weight gain, which would be water retention in the body. So if you've got a medication that says weight gain, right, and there isn't another side effect that says increase in appetite, right? That medication has caused you to gain 1 to 4 pounds in water retention, made you a little bit more bloated. All right. So, you know, I'm sorry to break it to you. Definitely try and get the worth of calories out tonight. I go shopping Friday morning, so always end up watching it after I've been loving the POV cooking videos. Brilliant, Jez. That's great. Oh, the door's to show. Oh, Rachel must be on. I will try my very best. It is half edited. I need to go through it though, because it's really long. It's like 40 minutes long, I think. I'll tell you why. There was a lot of distractions in it. You'll see when you watch the video. There was a lot of distractions in it. but I feel like it's really long. So I need to go through it and edit it properly. So if I've got time, which I should have, I'm going to come off this live shortly. I'm going to go make tea. We'll take the dogs out, and then I've got not loads on tonight. I've got nothing on tonight, to be honest with you, other than chilling a little bit and just having a bit of a time out. So leave it with me. I'll try my very best to get it edited and get it out this evening. Mine said weight gain, and I'm worried. Yeah, and we put weight gain. It's going to be. And a lot of people go, if I'm on a medication that causes weight gain, I might as well just eat what I want. No, that's why you've gained weight. Yeah. Very organised this week. My food diary's done till Sunday. Very good, Stefan. That's good to hear. That's fine. Keep us busy for 40 minutes. Well, yeah, I know. I always wonder with that, is there a good time limit for, my weekly weight loss vlogs? I always try and keep them under 25 minutes. My worth of calories, I try and keep them under half an hour. I don't, or is it if you're, if you guys are just like, no, make it an hour deal. We're happy watching away. That's absolutely fine. Go on, Wilma. Who's there? So, right, leave it with me. Sertraline hugely increased my hunger and sweet tooth. It's about trying to manage that. Of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, different medications can have different, just because the side effect isn't necessarily listed. Side effects are only listed when it's like not a majority issue. Generally, side effects, like 1,000 people take medication and 1 or 2 people have it, it will generally be listed. But sometimes it can just, we are all different. Sometimes it can be a placebo. It generally can. So think of sertraline. So sertraline, I was on sertraline for on and off for about 13, 14 years to try and keep my head a bit chill. So sertraline is an antidepressant. It's more of an anti-anxiety medication. Although I've never suffered from anxiety, I am an overthinker and my brain just races all the time. I was on sertraline for 13, 14 years. Can I say, did sertraline increase my appetite? I have no idea, because I was 37 stone. My appetite was pretty big anyway, without sertraline intervening. How could an antidepressant cause an increase in appetite? Because it makes you feel better about yourself. Sometimes when we're depressed, that can decrease our appetite. Sometimes depression can increase our appetite. Anxiety can decrease our appetite. Anxiety can also increase our appetite. So if you've got a mental health condition that has an effect on your appetite where it decreases your appetite, right? So, you might be just a bit down in the dumps, and because you just don't feel like eating. If you then take an antidepressant, which brings your mood up a little bit, right? That might bring your appetite back. So that would possibly, because there isn't really anything massively in antidepressants that would increase appetite, but mood can increase appetite. Mood affects appetite. Hormone imbalances affect appetite. So we could look at it that way. And on them, I just feel tummy bloating since being on them. Yeah, possibly. Is that down to, are you drinking a bit less water? Are you eating slightly different foods? If you're not feeling great, are you looking for a bit of comfort in certain things you're eating? Are you eating things that might cause, you're putting two and two together and getting 5? I wouldn't worry about it too much. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. I'm on 15 different medications and managing to lose weight. Yeah, exactly. And we always have to have a little bit of a reality check. And don't get me wrong, certain things can be anecdotal. Just because someone's on X amount of medications doesn't mean everyone would be able to do that. But, like I say, generally with medication, medication does not cause fat gain. Right? Like I say, an increase in appetite, domino effect, over-consuming calories will cause fat gain. And if a medication is causing you to over-consume calories, and if you struggle to control your calories anyway, and then you have something that, we can look at that. But directly, no. Right, let me scan down, see if I've missed. I'd say under 1 hour. Okay, that's cool. Let me have a look at this one. I can't remember. I've edited it, actually. I've edited the first 3, I think, and it's about 13 minutes. And then number 4 is about 10 minutes, though. So that's 23. And then number 5 is about... Actually, it might not be too bad. I won't over-edit it because, like I say, I won't over edit it because if I want to get it out tonight, I won't have time to. I just started on the injection contraception. Will this make me retain water or bloat? Contraceptive pills and injections can do, the coil and stuff like that. There is a few links. I don't know exactly, and again, it's all very subjective. But yes, certain contraceptive pills and devices or injections of medication can cause a bit of water retention. Nothing major. And Bex, you're my client, and I know what you currently weigh. And water retention through anything like medication or over will always be determined a little bit by our current weight. So, the bigger you are, the more water you would retain. So, again, I wouldn't panic about it too much, and it will tend to settle down. It really will. If you're on a medication like a permanent medication, it will tend to settle down. Right, let me scan down. There's a lot of questions at 5:00 on a Thursday. A lot of recommendation, a lot of things going on a Thursday today. Any recommendations on a fiber supplement? I haven't really. It's something I've never really taken. I get all my fiber from my fruit and veg, so it's not something that I could guide on. My best bet would be look at something like Amazon, put in fiber supplement, have a look at, make sure it's got a lot of reviews, 1,000 reviews plus, and it's 4 stars plus, and you're not really going to go too far wrong. Just me panicking. Later is fine. I said at the end, whenever you get a minute. Right, leave it with me, Faye. I'll have a listen tonight. Right, let me scan up. 3 courses, 25 quid in any restaurant in Newcastle. That's amazing. Unless 3 courses would have been less than 25 quid, and they've just bumped the price up. But you can't get 3 courses for 25 quid. I think if you had 3 courses at Spoons, it'd be more than 25 quid nowadays, wouldn't it? So and I know Spoons isn't classed as a restaurant. That sounds amazing. I'd be well up for that. I would be well up for that. The way Hey Mix Grill Meat, you got it to the other day. I know the 49p. I've had so many people messaging me. I think they were 150 when I got them. Then I got loads of messages saying they were 99p. Then loads of messages saying they were 49p, which basically means they're out end of line and they're getting rid of them. And they want the stock out of the freezer. 49p, bargain. They are an absolute bargain for 49p. They really, really are. Right, you lovely, lovely people. I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done for this evening. It's been a good live, actually. Some really good questions, guys. Thank you very much. I like that. I like when we chat about a few things a bit different as well. It's always nice, isn't it, when different topics are raised up? It's good. I'm very curious what you'll make of my meal plan prepared by ChatGPT. Hellfire. This is where we're getting to now, AI. I've been using AI a lot, not actually for coaching you guys. That does all come from my head. But I've been sort of getting, look, AI's not going anywhere, is it? So I've been trying to get used to it and just seeing how it could help my business and help different bits and pieces. Gavin, fire it over, mate, if you want to. Look, at the end of the day, this is the thing with meal plans. A lot of people come to me and go, do you get a meal plan? No. Why do I need to tell you what to eat? I don't, right? Because weight loss is about a lifestyle change. It's about, and I'm not going to be with you forever. So, let's not start off with bad habits, right? And why we want a meal plan generally is because we feel that we need to eat certain things for weight loss. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people like meal plans because of variety of eating. I've got over 40 recipes on my YouTube channel. If you want variety for eating, just Google low calorie meals. There's flipping billions of them on social media. Whether they're any good or not, that's a different thing. So, but most of us want meal plans because we think we have to eat in a very specific way to lose weight. You don't. If you just want to eat ham butties all week because you love a ham butty, eat it within your calories, you'll lose weight. Now, don't get me wrong. The way we structure our diet, the way, getting the protein and getting the fiber in to help fill us up and all this, that and the other is the way we structure our diet can give us a massive support to controlling our appetite. If you're just going to eat nothing but crunchy nut cornflakes for a week, you're probably going to be hungry quite a lot of the time. You're not going to get much nutrition. You're not going to feel great, but you can eat whatever you want. And that's kind of how I try and coach people. I try and just give them that little bit of freedom. We don't like that freedom because we've never had it before with weight loss. Sometimes, we feel like we need to be like spoon fed. You don't need to be spoon fed, but some people are also very much like they need that extra guidance. Well, nowadays, like I say, ChatGPT. Hiya, can you give me a meal for 600 calories that contains chicken, potatoes, and broccoli that's a bit spicy? You wrap that into ChatGPT, and it will come up with something, right? It will. It's a very clever little tool. So, but my philosophy with eating is on a weight loss journey is eat the foods you enjoy eating, but make them low calorie. Make them low calorie, make them high protein, make them high fiber. You can do that with any meal. Message me. Right? Tell me a meal. Right? Tell me something. I actually did this a couple of years ago. I did a post saying, right, what do you love to eat? Tell me what you love to eat, and I'll make you a dish with that. And I don't know where the recipe is. I need to find it. But someone messaged me saying mac and cheese. That was my biggest challenge. Making a mac and cheese. It was high protein, high volume. And I ended up doing, because I was like, mac and cheese. How do I get volume? Mac and cheese. What else do you eat with cheese that's low cauliflower? So I did like a bacon mac and cauliflower cheese, right? And it was banging. I need to find the recipe. I'll have it somewhere. I remember I filmed it and put it on social media. I didn't put it in. I don't think it might be in one of my recipe books. It ain't one of my eat cook books. I don't know. But yeah, bacon, cauliflower, mac and cheese it was. And obviously cauliflower was like 10 calories or 20 calories for 100 grams. So, it was like 75 grams of pasta, bacon medallions, 200 grams of cauliflower, and then I made like a bit of a lower calorie cheese sauce and baked it in the oven, and it was absolutely banging. It was so good. It really, really was. That was my biggest challenge. But yeah, I did a post saying, right, what do you want to eat? Right, tell me what you want to eat, and I'll make it lower calorie, healthier, still taste amazing, high protein. It'll fill you up. And people come in like, oh, I want a burger. Right, 5% fat burger, brioche bun. Get a load of salad on it, load it up, air fried chips. There you go. You've got a great big whacking cheeseburger and chips for 600 calories. That was always my target, 600 calories. Everyone does these 500 calorie meals. Now you can have 600 calories. Anyone can have 600 calories for a main meal, certainly for lunch or dinner. Anyway, I'll find that recipe. Right, that's it. I am out of here. I've got to go. I need to go make lunch. The wife's looking at tea. The wife's looking at me like, hey, mate, you done yet? We're having tonight smashed like jacket potatoes. I did it the other week. I did a picture of it. I'm doing it slightly different time. I'm just doing it with garlic butter. So jacket potato, cut open, but all mashed up with garlic butter, chicken sausage, onion gravy, broccoli, asparagus. That is tea tonight. I'll put a picture on my socials. Have a lovely evening, whatever you're doing. I'll be back tomorrow I might do a little bit earlier tomorrow. I think we're going to go to the gym at lunchtime. So I might even do, I know I normally do 11 a.m. on a Friday. I'm sorry for messing the live times right if it's doing your head in a bit. But I might even do an 8:30 in the morning. I might jump on and do 8:30. I might try and get in here for 6:30, do 2 hours of check-ins. Check-in day tomorrow. It's busy check-in day tomorrow. 2 hours worth of check-ins. And then I might jump on a live 8:30 till 9:30. Leave it with me. I'll if you're on plan, look out for me at 8:30. If I'm not here, I'll be on a bit later. If you're on plan or in the community, as always, I'll broadcast it out. Right, enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. I'm going to make tea, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I've not even signed off to you guys. I do that so many times. Right, I've signed off to TikTok. I'll sign off to you guys now.